one who's still in the race is Lamin J. Darbo lawyer. He said, he just with us when Talib declared his intention to quit, but he said he's not quitting. At least so far, he is going to follow the process up to its end. You know, perhaps. Well, we wish him all the best of luck. But Mr. Darbo, you have already undergone the vetting process already. Or rather, you have appeared before the panel. You know, in the beginning, when you initially wanted the position, you started with a query because the application process indicated that you said that it would mean that you cannot renounce, you being somebody who has dual citizenship, cannot renounce the other citizenship within 14 days window that the party initially provided for application process. But the party came back to say, well, that probably was a misunderstanding, or you prematurely faulted the system. But then they said, okay, they agreed with you that since election is not coming now, that portion or that criteria may not be relevant now. So then we saw that maybe you took that to be the case. Now you still have faith in the process. You applied and to be the party presidential candidate. How sure are you? How faithful are you still in the process that it will be free and fair?
Well, you have to give the party and the panel the benefit of the doubt. So that's what I'm doing. I'm in there giving the process the benefit of the doubt. It's not the time to query that process as far as I am concerned. So I'll stay there and I'll be monitoring the situation like all the candidates hopefully would be doing.
What will happen in the event that somebody else is picked? Like I was discussing with Jao, everybody feared that your party has now gone, to a state where differences are irreconcilable. Will you, Lamin J. Darbo, back anybody who subsequently becomes the presidential candidate?
If I believe that the processes have been handled correctly, the interview process before the panel went well. They asked questions.
What sort of questions did they ask, if I may ask? That's the UDP mark that have discussed.
Yes, because the interview process was not even on record, as far as we were told.
You're not allowed to discuss what they asked?
Well, not maybe, but if you're going to make a mistake, do it on the side of caution. Maintain the internal processes, the confidentiality of the internal processes. Okay. Yeah.
So I will spare you those details. Yes. Okay, but then what motivates you? What motivates you to go in there? Or like people will say, critics of the UDP will say, how do you challenge Uzenoda?
Well, this is not my first application. I applied in 2021, but in 2021 I was not even invited for the interview process. Yeah.
You applied, but you weren't even invited?
No, 4 people applied. We say no, and 3 of us, 3 other people applied. Darbo from somewhere in Fonyi, myself, and I think Hussein Mbu from Bakau.
Oh, really?
But in 2021, but none of us were invited.
Nobody was invited?
No.
You just sat down and said it's zero down?
Well, we were not invited.
Maybe you were told that your application is turned down?
No.
You just applied and that was the end of it?
We applied, and yeah, that was it.
So this is an improvement on the situation.
So this was an improvement.
Yes, absolutely.
Because at least for us, you have been listed.
Yeah.
So even as Kantaro a coin was, last time is an improvement now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Right, so what motivates you? Why do you think you would be a better candidate to enhance the party's chance?
Well, Mr. Chairman, you've been a journalist for a long time. I've been involved in the public affairs of this country going back to 1992. I've been participating in the debates that were going on, observing the PPP government, and participating in the conversations about that government and how it was running the country, to the extent that we did warn that unless it corrects direction, and this is not, verbal communication. There are written essays in the Daily Observer warning the government, and unless it changes course, there is a possibility that the government would be overthrown. Yes. So I've been observing public affairs. I believe our biggest problem is governance. That is where I believe I can come in to ensure what they call system change, what Khalifa Saleh calls system change. That's what I believe in. I'm not in the business of comparing you and Mr. Jao and saying, oh, Mr. Cham is better than Jao, or Jao is better than Mr. Cham. I don't do that. I look at the system and the weaknesses of human beings. Yes, human systems, human governance models that are not embedded in democracy, in accountability, and in systems that you can look at and evaluate. In a situation like that, human beings can do anything. When you know that you will not be accountable for anything, there is nothing that you cannot do. Yes, that is a weakness in the human being. It's not like other people are better than others. I'm not judging anything from that perspective. Give me a verifiable system so that if a person in government, they say the president, does something that is wrong, we can know that it is wrong. But to sit two people and try to say one is better than the other, that is a misunderstanding of the nature of the human being. We are all the same. Yes, we are all the same.
So you believe that if given the opportunity, you will be a candidate who will, in a more greater way, boost the chances of the party?
Yes, absolutely. I believe that if I'm given the opportunity, I'm not going to be somebody who just comes and say, okay, tell us about yourself and all that kind of propaganda. No. In my case, I have at least 50 major articles that I wrote about Gambian public affairs going back to 1992. People can look at those things and decide who this person is.
But, people will look and said we have not seen tangibly anything, even within the party. When you came to meet the working committee, so to speak, we didn't see you with much fanfare as we did with Ushero Dawa and perhaps.
No.
Where's your place in the UDP in Gunjur?
My place is very wide, Mr. Cham. Well, I think you'll come to realize that I've been engaged in public affairs and community affairs for a long time. So, like I said,
I've seen a lot of people who commend you on the, and when your candidate was announced, said, well, perhaps if they don't agree, if the feuding parties, mostly Stalin versus Darbo, they said if the feuding parties don't agree, perhaps they could get Lamin Darbo as a potentially a bridge, a very good bridge. For that, they commended you.
Well, a bridge, yes, that is a possibility. But what I'm saying is that I have my own base. I don't advertise these kinds of things, but I know I do have a base, a big base.
But you have to come out now that you've thrown your hands officially in middle. You have to come out with your base.
Well, in this interview process, a lot of people came along. Or with 2 people, 3 people. A friend of mine in the United Kingdom said, can we organize transportation for other people? I said, no, it's not necessary. I don't think that would be necessary. I thought that would be disruptive of the process. So, but when I went there, I was the 4th person. Hussein was the 5th person on that day, on Thursday. So People before Hussein didn't come with any crowd, but you have to know that Hussein is a party leader.
Oh, because he's the incumbent.
Yeah.
He's the one you are trying to unseat.
Yeah, he's a party leader, he's the incumbent. So there were people there. And of course, we were inside when he arrived, but you could hear the commotion outside. So you know the party leader is approaching. But yeah, that's not a problem. But about the base, well, I think we leave that for the coming month or so.
Also.
Yeah.